So, as you know, this is our weekly podcast session, live session on global opportunities, where I have this conversation with Michael in Germany, and then he provides us insights on what is needed if you want to travel to Germany and other parts of Europe. So, Michael is running a platform, Settling, and he shares his thoughts on how settling works and resources you can find on settling. So, yeah. Good morning, Michael.
Morning, Michael, too.
Yeah. And so, how is Germany this morning?
It's okay. Germany is actually okay. It's a bit chilly today. This
Okay.
is 26th of September. I believe it's the 26th of, sorry, 26th of April.
Were you born in September?
No, no. But
Okay.
I think it's going to be a nice weather today in Germany, so
Uh,
looking forward to it.
okay.
Yeah.
It's been very hot from this part of the world in Nigeria. We don't know if it's global warming. The rain now is a prayer point. We pray for the rain to come, and
Yeah.
it's been really hot. We are the receiving end of the global of the industrialization activities in Europe,
Mm,
and
mm.
it's not really funny here. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. That's that's uh, one of the I would say on sad reality of what is happening in the world, in the sense that um, where the say industrialization is happening, which is contributing a lot to the global warming, those part of the world, they are not actually feeling the effect as much as the other part of the world where they have less industrialization and less activities contributing to the global warming, if you get what I mean.
Ah, yeah, I
So
get. I get.
yeah, but
Okay.
yes, that's why the need to be able to access other parts of the world becomes important, so that we can all partake in everything that is happening globally. If
Yeah.
you don't like where you
Ah,
are, what's happening there, it's not favorable to you. If you want to access opportunities in another location, then you have not only the right, but also the, yeah, you do have the right naturally, but then you then need the right information to go there and access what you're looking for in the legal way,
eh,
of
eh,
course.
and talking about opportunities and location, it might interest you to know that all the issues you hear about the herdsmen killing in Nigeria, it's not unconnected with global warming. Because uh, on the northern part, there is serious desert encroachment from the north,
Yeah,
and life there for the livestock is becoming very unbearable, so they have to move down south. And so this conversation that we have here is, in case you are in a particular location and life is becoming unbearable for you, this conversation is to it brings you insights on how you can move either towards the global north or the global south if you so wish. And
mm-hmm,
it also
mm-hmm.
provides you with real-time information on how you can do this seamlessly.
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe let's help me understand what is happening with the whole Fulani Herdsmen situation. Like, if they need new locations for their, what you from Ilorin? Okay, thank you, Oche. Appreciate it that you're watching.
Yeah.
If they are, if they are moving, if they are looking for greener pastures for their cattle, do they have to kill people to do that? Like, why the massacre?
No, it's a thing of mindset. It's a thing of mindset. You know, like if you see some children, depending on the way you've been brought up, if
Mm-hmm.
you have somebody with a bread or a cake, you can ask, "Can I have some, please?" Another child will just come and grab it and snatch it off your hand. And so
Mm-hmm.
it's a thing of upbringing and mindset,
Mm-hmm.
because they've been told, oh, the whole country, the whole state, the country, they are not against Fulani Herdsmen. They'll be living together.
Yeah.
So they'll be saying, if you want to do, it's a business like every other business. If I want
Yeah.
to do a business in any of these states, I have to go maybe look for the landlord of the apartment, pay for rent, and occupy it and pay all of the taxes.
Yeah. Yeah.
But these guys want to have it free and yeah, and lawlessly. And so they come to your community instead of you. Okay, this is my land. Instead of coming to meet me, this land. Can we have a certain portion so that we can be grazing another? Or can I buy it from you, pay for it, like every other form of kind of arrangement for any business? They don't want that. They just want to come in, kill you, take your room, take your land, chase you away, and it becomes theirs. Is this kind of because of the way they have been raised and thought to think that they are entitled, and some kind of security complex, stuffs like that. And then with some kind of backing from high places. And so if they are when they are caught, they are so calm. They're not disturbed at all because they know perhaps who is standing behind them.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's next level problem. Like it's where do you even go with this? It's happening in the broad day, it's in the media, everyone sees it, and no one can do anything about it. You just have to, look out for yourself.
a long time ago, the special advisor on the president, Buhari, on media, Femi Additional,
Hmm.
he once said that it's either you give up your land or you die.
Wow, give
Yeah,
up your land or you die.
yeah. Yeah, because now I think he was speaking out of frustration because when Buhari came, he wanted to do this Ruga program to formally bring the guys from the north into the communities in the south, where he was asking governors to set aside piece of land where they can build Ruga settlement for the herdsmen. So they can
Hmm.
now come, it becomes their dwelling place where they can do their grazing and all that. And the community people say, no, this is a way to sneak into our land and take over it. And they all resisted it. And so when the killings started and there were outcry from every corner, one of the response from the media rep of the president was that communities, when they are serious, it's like when you are serious, you know what to do. It's either you give your land for these persons to come in, or you continue being killed. You can Google it after this time and see what you made that very unguided. So it gives you a sense of the body language of government and how and the way they operate. They are quite emboldened and without any iota of fear. They do it with they attack broad daylight. So there's no
That's
single fear
very,
in it. So
that's very worrisome.
it's worrisome. It's worrisome.
In a country with, you know, supposedly the military, the police, and and there are national budgets going to all these people every year, and they cannot even protect the citizens from internal security issues. I guess we can forget about external security issues.
If you are not secured internally, it becomes easier to have you invaded externally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, it's not about incompetence. As you know, our military they are one of the best in the world.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just unprofessionalism. Unprofessional. They are not going by the ethics of the profession, and it's because of interest of some poorly informed interest. It's sad enough.
Yeah.
So that's just what it's all about.
Yeah.
Now the communities are not saying protect us again. They are that we have gone to the level where they are saying, can we protect ourselves?
I guess
And
so. Yeah,
and they are not saying no,
how it
you
has to
can't
be.
protect yourself. And the government is saying no, we won't allow you to protect yourself. And so
So where are the locations
it's
that this thing is happening again precisely? Could you name the locations?
do you know to be
Yeah.
this federal government college to be, that place?
Yeah.
That place, would you have imagined that that place would be invaded or that the people killed in that community?
Mm.
There were massive killings in that community. I think is it about a week or two ago. To people that people run every now and then after killings there. Maybe there's some of your persons that seniors and colleagues from St. Francis. One of them, his father was killed about a month or two ago, or just about a month
No
ago.
way.
The father was killed inside town.
In the town.
There is also this, yeah, there is also this senior, what was that guy's name? A very popular one who studied law. But, no, I've got Mark of Fiku. You should know him
The name
from St.
sounds
Francis.
familiar. Yeah.
Yeah, he got killed at the gate of his house, broad daylight,
Himself.
killed. Yeah, they track people, kill them, they kidnap, and they do all this. In Otupo, I I have a farm in Otupo that I wanted them to harvest for me, and they can't go. It's not far from town, but I intentionally bought it very close to town so that for accessibility. All right, they can't access the farm. The neighborhood for you to go and you dare not go into the bush. It's very, very
Yeah.
fearful. They kill in Upu and all these sort of villages that people are running.
Yeah.
People are running from their houses.
This
No one
is
would have. So these guys are quite
crazy.
emboldened. They're emboldened in communities in Gwe West. People are Fulanis are living in people's fathers' master bedrooms.
Are
They chase them
you
away and they yeah.
Jesus? Woo.
If
This is
so,
getting this kind
they
of
have been
serious.
dislodged. They have been dislodged from their home and that they are now occupying it. So let me say, if your father dies from Makodi, I want to go home for burial. You have to go speak to the military. You pay them like about 100,000 naira, and then they will accompany you home. They give you time. Maybe say you have 3 hours to do this. You do within that allotted time, and you have to move away immediately. As you go for your burial, you see Fulani staying in your bedroom, staying in your parlor, and all that.
Just
Yeah,
like that.
yes, it's worrisome. So
Oh.
it's worrisome. Just about was it yesterday or 2 days ago, between Makodi and there is this Dakar road. I don't know, maybe you've not traveled there before.
Yeah, it
Dakar road from
sounds
Makodi, it's one
familiar.
of the shortest distance. Yeah, one of the shortest distance. I think about is it 21 person or so were kidnapped yesterday in the bus traveling. So it's for you to move from one spot to the other is becoming quite a safe. So you can understand the mass emigration of youths from the country who seek opportunities
Yeah.
abroad and all that because it's a kind of it's difficult to say, but it's about a feeling of hopelessness.
Woo.
When you look at the situation,
It's
it kind
like
of feels
this.
hopeless.
This is not civil war. It's it's not the war. It's I'm just trying to think about how can one describe this. It's just one set of
You know,
people terrorizing the other,
they've
every
tried.
other
They,
community.
yeah, they've tried to give it different names because they have refused to call it the name that it should be called by. Because I say communal clash, communal clash. If there's communal clash, let me say if I'm sharing boundary with you, we are neighboring communities, then you can call it communal clash. These
It's
are
not a
guys that
communal
come from
clash.
nowhere. It's not a communal clash. They call it farmers herders clashes. When there's clashes, you can see injury on both sides. But these guys will come. Yeah, they won't kill you. Nobody, they don't have the cutlass to resist you. Why is that a clash? So they keep calling it all manner of names that it's you want to wrap your head around it that you can never arrive at the conclusion.
You know,
you know.
maybe this is some kind of long-term plan because it's been going on for years now, and I think before now, yeah, they just keep seems like they just keep going, coming from the the north and then trying to get down to the south,
Now,
and that
the problem here, yeah, just to allude to what you say, the problem here is not just, we have Fulanis in this country, very nice people,
yeah.
very nice people. I must tell you, if you still recall where you were around, Fulanis are nice people. All right.
Hmm.
There are children in this part of Africa who never had the privilege of taking milk. Okay, it was a Fulani Nunu that they took as milk growing up.
Hmm.
Okay, Fulani will come see a little child crying and they will be moved and they will give the child Nunu to stop crying. When little children are sick in communities or adults are sick, they go to them for medicine because they're very good with herbal medicine and all that. Okay, and when the Fulani man destroys your farm, they have a very peaceful way of settling it. You go to the community chief will keep the Fulani or call the Fulani involved. This is what this person said. Okay, how much is the value of your this year? You say 1 million. You say, the chief will say, no, that's not true. That's too much. Please give the person 300,000 rand. Plus, just okay, I'll give you 300,000. You settle that, then everybody goes on peacefully.
Hmm.
Then we then these persons who are causing this mayhem mainly are coming from other parts of Africa, Chad, Niger,
They're
and
not even
Libya, and all that.
Nigerians.
No, they are not really Nigerians. So it started from cattle rustling, where they were rustling the cattle of our indigenous Fulanis, the real Nigerian
Hmm.
Fulanis. They were raping their wives, they were killing them. All right. And so I think it's just the irresponsibility of government and then the bigotry of some elites from the north. because they want to say every Fulani is your brother, whether you're from Chad, from Niger, from Mali, from Burkina Faso,
Yeah.
once you're a Fulani, you're your brother. So they open the gate and say, our brother's coming. So instead of standing in for our own Fulanis that we are known that we'll be living together in peace with,
Mm-hmm.
they tend to be supporting the unruly attitude of these foreigners.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't know whether, yeah, because like you said, it's a long-term project, a
Yeah.
long-term project, and they are very intentional about it. Like I told you, with the desert encouragement from the north, they want to as quickly as possible find spaces in the south where there's assurance of greener pasture and water for their business.
How valuable is this business exactly, and how much is the market value of this business? Because I'm
Well, what?
trying to understand, the significance of what exactly they are fighting for. Is it to have greener pastures to feed their cattle so that they can keep selling and, making money through beef? Is that what it is about? Or it's something deeper than that? Because it would not make sense if it's just to find greener pastures and then you kill thousands of people. It could,
Yes, I think there are some other subtle objective. Okay, for instance, now I tell you, I tell somebody, go and kill your mother, and I'll give you 5 million. Okay, now, and I know that okay, maybe your mother is the only one alive, and I'm interested in a piece of your family land. So, but what you are hearing is 5 million. I have heard that under your land there is certain mineral there, but you don't know all my other intentions.
hmm
But all you know is, okay, my mother is already old now. Killing her is not a big deal. I will be a big boy. So I'll just go and kill my mother for 5 million. It's like also Jesus betraying Jesus for some piece of silver. You don't know the real intentions of those who are behind pushing you. So
Yeah.
there is also the conquest side of it. There's a land grabbing side of it. There is a conquest side of it. There is a religious expansion side of it, and a political advantage side of it. There is also not. So those who are also making fortune from it brought in the kidnapping, brought in the banditry and the kidnapping, where they also make a lot of money from it. And so a lot of persons and agencies and stakeholders that you could never have imagined also picked interest in the whole stuff. So it became a very massive project. So as they are moving, as they are invading land, they are also kidnapping community people, making money, doing no manner of things. And government security funds, you don't audit it. So the more the crisis, the more they need to increase the value of the budget on security, and then start justifying purchase of arms to fight these things. And because nobody is going to audit you, or there's no accountability in this
Oh,
area. And also, when there is crisis in a certain area during election, you can afford to say elections held there, and you can rig the figures and all that. So one thing opens the room for other things.
hmm
But primarily, what started this thing was, guys, we need to take our cutters. You achieve your own interest through somebody's interest. These guys, their own interest is their cattle feeding and then their
yeah,
business. So,
yeah,
and they are the ones that can be on the field, that can get this season. So you tell them, no, we will empower you. You need to go and settle there. If not, in the years coming, your cattle, you can't do this business, your family and all that. So you are pushing your interest through these people's
yeah,
interest. As
yeah,
they are
yeah.
going now, you start using them also, because these guys, when they kidnap and you see them and you catch them, they're not really looking nice. Sometimes you hear from 100 million, they were giving 1 million and stuff like that. So who are those behind? Well, because where do they get these weapons? How do they
Yeah,
move these weapons
yeah.
and all this? So it's a it's it's not difficult to unravel, but it's difficult to
Yeah.
unravel because of the weight of the
Oh,
people who are actually orchestrating all of this. So the
yeah.
community people are asking, allow us to defend ourselves, because we can no longer rely on government for our defense. And the government is saying, no, we cannot allow that. And the government have not been able to go follow all Fulanis and collect the weapons with them. And how do they get these weapons? There has not been any report on that. There are not every report on successful operation retrieving weapons from the Fulanis to stop the attacks. But the communities cannot possess weapons.
Whew. This is this is very deep. This is
No,
so
it's quite
deep.
deep.
And I feel really bad for all the victims,
Oh,
ones gone,
it's really
and
sad.
then the families. It's like you just can't have peace in your own country, in your own home. It's one thing to suffer the whole economic issues, and then it's another thing not to be safe, and even the little that you have is taken away from you.
Okay, now just to add again, a peace. I said that we were going to talk about this thing sometime in one of our sessions. Because those of you over there in diaspora, you don't really know what is really happening back here at home. A
No,
tuber of yam, not so big tuber of yam, is 3,000 naira.
Jesus Christ.
I could have come up with one here. It's 3,000 naira. The mudu of sugar that I used to know that was around, maybe they will be talking of 100 naira or 200 before. It's now about, I just bought one yesterday, 2,800, and I maybe not. So I should go down south. You could be buying a mudu for like 3, 5, or 4,000. One mudu of sugar. A bottle of Coke that I used to know, a bottle of Coke that was around 20 something, highest 15 naira. A bottle of Coke is now 350, 350 naira. So when you
Oh,
send somebody 10,000 naira, the money is almost useless.
come on. No,
But
no.
maybe because 10,000 pounds is a lot of money, well, or 10,000 euro is a lot of money. So with that in your mindset, you're not really able to connect it. So when you send someone 10,000 naira, that's a lot of money.
No,
What are you
no, no.
saying,
I
man?
mean, I think for sure, we do understand the difference in the currency. Um, but I think what we still do not really grasp is, yeah, a 2,500. But
See,
if you need to feed a whole, say, a family of
it,
four, for example, or five, you have that tuber of yam that you've paid 3,500, but that yam, not just the tuber of yam. You need to cook it. So by the time you're making a meal, just one meal, you're spending probably 10,000 naira.
yeah, yeah, because like 12 kg gas that we used to buy around 3,000 naira, maybe when you were still around in Nigeria. That very 12 kg now, we were buying it for 18,000 naira, from 3,000 naira to 18. And this can take you on the average of 1 month. So this is why you can see the young ones are pushing seriously for opportunities in Europe, where they have a stable economy, where they are guaranteed. If with all of this, there are no job opportunities. People come out every day seeking what to do. Nigerians are not lazy, but there's just no
No,
work to do.
no, no, no,
There's just no
no.
work
I think
to do.
laziness is the last thing that anyone should think about Nigerians
Yeah,
because
yeah,
abroad you hear someone is a Nigerian, the first thing is that is a hard-working person. That's someone
yeah,
that you can trust, the hard-working person. You want to have that person on your team,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know. And even there, back home, you still see this happening. Even
yeah,
amidst all this struggle and issues, people are still doing a lot. And it just tells you, how much struggle that they have to go through.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah. And the problem is maybe if you've been paying attention to the news, the public sector made a lot of gains, made profit in 2024. Also, the services sector made a lot of gains, but the manufacturing sector ran into losses.
and why
Now
is
you can
that?
connect it. Now it's because of the policy of government. There were, if you still recall, maybe you may want to go and Google it or research it there hereafter. They made monetary policies where they call it the windfall, where the bank made a lot of gains, and then the manufacturer made a lot of losses. Now there was a sharing formula between the banks and the government, and so when they saw this windfall, massive profit that came in at the expense of the manufacturers. The government had to call back the banking sector again and say, no, we have to go back to negotiate it again. The sharing formula, we have to change it again. I think it was 50-50. They said, no, we have to take 70, then you guys take 30, because it wasn't out of anything you did. Any right thinking person would have thought that, okay, you give some incentives to the manufacturing sector since you have this surplus now. So
You
to
know,
boost the manufacturing sector. But they sat down
and
and
to
share it
sustain
like they
it, you know,
and to
because
sustain it.
yeah, because if you don't, then it's gonna die out, and then there's nothing for
It's
you
gonna die.
anymore.
I don't forget that the manufacturing sector are one of the greatest employer of labor.
Yeah, 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 of course, yeah. Because if there's not that, then what else is every other sector doing?
Yeah, how many people can the banking sector employ in the first place?
Yeah, and again,
Um,
if you can only use the bank if you have a source to earn money that goes into the bank account.
yes, yeah,
So
yeah,
otherwise, what would be the need for the bank account?
yeah, for the bank.
Yeah.
So so now the banking sector and the public sector, because the bank is a main stakeholder in the services sector.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Mm-hmm.
and so what you hear the services sector made gains is just the bank, because hotels and all other guys, I don't know how much they contribute anyway. The hospitality,
Mm-hmm.
because with all this security issue, tourism and hospitality must be affected anyway,
Yeah,
because you have
yeah.
less people coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
now the whole of that money was shared. I know the exchange rate is just another big issue for manufacturers. You're still
Mm-hmm.
seeing progressively increasing value-added tax and other taxes. All right. So all of these issues, they are facing it. They are facing
Mm-hmm.
the devaluation of the naira is also a big issue for them. Assessing fund, increase interest rate. I think it's about 35%. So it's like the policies are out to destroy the manufacturing sector, and a lot of persons are laid off their job because of these policies. So when you holistically analyze the whole of these things, the best option for you is to run immediately. We have Nigerians flooding, running to Ghana, running to these other neighboring Africa countries. It's not only Europe that we are running to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you go to the deepest villages in Ghana, Nigerians are there because insecurity, political instability, poor economy, poor performing currency, um, and general. Okay, electricity is also another big issue. Poor power supply, you can't do business, and all that. So nothing just seems to be working, and then it informs why you see why everybody wants to run away. If I get a chance, like I told you the other day, I will have to run away, but it's now more expensive to run because of the dollar to naira exchange. The
Yeah.
trip that you would have made, like with a 5 million, if you want to run, I have to be thinking of about 20 million. So, which is not easy to come by.
It's interesting how you use the term run away. If you have to run, you have to run.
No, it's more like running. Okay, you've not been seeing online. People will come to Europe and they will be say they have made it, that they made
Of
it.
course. I've been
Yeah.
seeing it. I
Uh,
know. I know.
and I say, they finally made it.
Yeah,
It's like
because it's
running
it's it's
away.
it's relief, you know, you literally
It's really,
running away. It's relief.
yeah,
And but
yeah.
what's now sad is, you know, it's just it messes up, you know, original intentions for people to access opportunities in other parts of the world. Because it does not make sense to think about opportunities if your life is at stake. You just want to be safe first and foremost. You don't care about anything. Let me be safe. Let me be
Yeah,
healthy. You know,
yeah.
I want to be alive first before I even think about anything.
Okay,
You
and
can't
just
blame the
also add to
people.
yeah, in line with what you said. So you see professionals who should be going for professional job. They're not like concerned about that. They don't mind
No.
coming to do cleaning job. They don't
Mm.
mind coming to do.
Let me just
Uh,
go first
Let
and
me just
foremost.
go.
Yeah,
First and
yeah,
foremost, if it's cleaning,
yeah.
man, I'm ready to clean. If it's whatever it is, I'm ready to do. So,
Mm.
but let me just leave this place because you keep fighting, and once you begin to speak too much, they could come and just kill you. They don't even want you to demand
Advocate.
for good governance.
Yeah,
Yeah, to
yeah.
advocate for good governance, it's a crime.
Ooh.
so so it's a kind of hopeless situation. You
Mm.
know the facts, you can't say it. You know the truth, you can't say it. You dare not say it. If you
Mm,
talk too much, you could get knocked off the way, man. It's
yeah.
it's not traveling, it's running.
It's
It's
running.
running away.
It's running. But I mean, in any case, I think, okay, coming to the point about the expenses, there are still several ways that one can go about the process,
Okay.
even if they don't have the financial capacity.
Yeah.
And I think probably on that note, we could have the foundation for our conversation next week, where we will talk about scholarship and funding opportunities to move to Europe. I
Yeah.
definitely would. I would try to bring at least one guest speaker to join us in the conversation so that we can talk about funding and scholarship opportunities to move to Europe. Because I think this becomes really important in the sense that, um, regardless of your aim, I think it's valid for someone to look for a location to secure themselves. And if that means also accessing scholarship opportunities that support these initiatives, then 100% they have the right to get information. So I would like us to focus our next session on this because we also have to see how we connect everything back and provide solution in the ways that we can to the problems that are happening. And one of them is this insecurity in the country which people are facing. And this has a very long and deep, you know, detrimental effect in the community, in the country as a whole. Because what happens is at the end of the day, the population is just reduced unnaturally, because this is not supposed to be how the population should be affected. But and this will crumble everything else, labor, the economy, everything. So, in as much as that is also a long-term project, we could also think about long-term solutions that would come in gradually but also steadily, and hopefully find ways to resolve these problems. Yeah.
Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense because a lot of places want to move, would love to move, but constrained by funds.
Yeah.
So if you can bring us like this person, like a resource person or like somebody who could speak to this very in-depthly, and then you provide the other options, that brings it to a lesser cost if you want to travel, if you want to, and all of that. I think it will interest a lot of persons. Either we
Yeah.
could do a short clip on that, uh, I mean, provide more publicity on that so that people can join and come to listen to
Mhm.
this. It's all about, because that is just a problem with Nigerians or most persons from this part of the world, Africa, is the cost. And so when you get this to hear that, yes, you can get it cheaper at a cheaper cost and the other funding opportunities, I think it will be very interesting.
For sure, for sure.
Yeah.
We will do this. We will do this.
Yeah.
Okay. And thank you so much for today's session. It was very eye-opening to me. I mean, I've been hearing about the issues, but just hearing it again this morning and also this way, it's very disturbing, really.
Yeah.
And I hope that the people in diaspora that they can also begin to think about ways to contribute and also support the people, because this is like really next level problem, and
You,
it's only a matter of
you know,
time it's going to catch up with every other person.
I know that the problem here is, it is also stalling foreign direct investment.
Of
Because,
course.
as an investor, you have risk managers who carry out their assessment and then projecting to, forecasting to 10, both in the short term and in the long term, the chances of your business surviving. You also speak to with those on ground and all of that. So it becomes unattractive.
Yeah.
Also, those abroad who have tried to come in, they just come in or get kidnapped and get killed. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you have neighbors to this person, you have friends, and then they get to hear your friend that left Europe to Nigeria to do so so so. The guy is gone. Oh.
Whew.
You never consider coming home. So these guys, they have to be very intentional about solving this problem. Uh,
Yeah.
it, it's not about just your interest. How long are we going to stay in this world in the first place?
Yeah.
Okay, you stay maximum 100, or if you stay for too long, 120 years, you are gone, you are gone.
Yeah.
You don't have to destroy generations coming just for your selfish interest about 4, 5, 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
It's kind of childish.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they have to
100%.
solve, first things first, they have to solve this issue of insecurity and then stabilize the economy and
Hmm.
then let there be infrastructure, at least power supply. But we're not planning for the future. Our population is growing mindlessly, and then we are sleeping and misbehaving. So it's a recipe from explosion.
Yeah,
And this is why any right-thinking person want to find very workable option as soon as possible.
100%.
Myself inclusive.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
yeah,
We will
yeah,
definitely do our part because this is what we are all about, creating sustainable communities. So
yeah,
I definitely will do my part and also try to bring in us many people within my network so that we can keep talking about these things
yeah,
and find solutions because every every effort is
yeah, yeah.
great.
Makes a lot of
Then
sense.
thank you so very much. I'm going to upload this to YouTube in a moment so that it can also be there for people to make reference to. And I look forward to catching up with you on Saturday next week.
Yeah, I can't wait to have the session next weekend. I'm so sure it's going to be a very interesting one.
Yeah, definitely. Because
And just to
now
thank, is
there
it
is
Oche
other
who is
projects
joining from?
behind it too, and
Yeah,
which I think has to be given the necessary priorities. I'll put it that way.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. For our audience, I don't know if they've got any question. I think Oche is on the call. I don't know. Hello, Michael.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. So,
I I, I
yeah,
think
I
is it
guess,
Oche or who? Those who have joined, I don't know.
yeah. I guess they can always leave, questions or comments
Okay,
there, and
okay,
then we can respond to them. Or they can always send a DM, whichever one works. Yeah.
okay. I can see there's Celestina on the call. There is Cyril Adiku. Uh, uh, I don't know. Is it Picklocks? That should no, that's not you. There's Matek, a couple of persons, Hilary Abu. I can see a couple of persons here. So thank you all for joining today's session. We'll do this again next weekend. Next weekend is promised to be very interesting.
Yeah.
We're going to be here again, same time. Thank you so much for being part of today's live session.
Thank you too, and have a nice one.
All right, you too. Have a great weekend. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.